Wow, we are sure busy here. There's so much to talk about. So busy, and so many likes and comments particularly, and subscriptions on the last video. So you foil lovers, thank you guys so much for participating in that video. We will have a follow video on that one in the coming days or week. Either way, this weekend was all about SUP Racing. 3 SUP races to cover, so busy, so much to talk about. And let's just start with the first one out in the West, the Carolina Cup. What a traditional race that is. What a season opener. It used to be, not so much anymore, because we had a lot of races already, but it's such a great race, the Graveyard Race. Michael Booth this year winning his 4th Graveyard Race, and that's amazing. He won it also with a margin. We were all kind of expecting him and Danny Ching battling it out, but Michael was just pedaling in a league on its own, leaving definitely Danny far behind. I'm posting results, and what is happening, I see results changing, hearing that 2 guys that were actually 2nd and 3rd were riding both ways. So Aaron Sanchez from Spain and Eri Tenorio from Brazil got penalized, moved further down, and Danny Ching came into 2nd. However, I'm sure he would have wished he was pedaling a little faster there, because we were all looking for a great battle between Danny Ching and Michael Booth, which evidently did not happen. On the ladies' side, Candice Appleby was kind of was definitely the favorite there, and her show was stolen by, to me, somebody rather unknown peddler named Kimberly Barnes. So congratulations to her. She took the stakes there, and from Spain came over Duna Godillo, that then came into 3rd. And for all of you guys who were actually super excited to see April Silk race the day after the Graveyard Race, or the Carolina Cup was plagued with bad weather there, so they had to cancel the entire Sunday races. So that is definitely a little sad. I'd say the Carolina Cup not under the best circumstances this year. They had schedule interference or overlap with the SUP World Festival in Spain, which is arguably the biggest race of the year. And then they had the boat wake incidents with protests, and then they had to cancel Sunday. So I hope the Carolina Cup can come back next year strong and with big participation, particularly in the elite field. And while we are talking about participation, did you see how many people race at the Euro Tour? Saturday's long distance, I think there's over 134, 35 paddlers there on that long distance race. Amazing. There's juniors, there's masters, kahunas. Everybody wanted to race. And as far as the athletes' performance goes, there you go. We have Noik Garriou with his 2nd Euro Tour race and his 2nd win. So he's coming up strong, very strong. And his 1st Euro Tour race and race appearance altogether. Shrimpy Shuri Araki from Japan coming in 2nd. So these 2 guys are hot, I'm telling you guys. And I'm super stoked for Shrimpy, because he's going to be at the M2O. I saw his name on the registration, so we're going to see him out in the channel in July here in Hawaii. So I'm going to be super excited about that. On the girls' side, 3 races, 3 wins. Who could it be? It was Esperanza again winning. She is just a class on her own. One thing that makes racing very exciting this year, actually in the ladies' field, is the race behind Esperanza. Number 1, who of those young guns is once going to be able to catch Espe? Who is it going to be? Because we had Duna always on her heels. Duna was not there. She was at the Carolina Cup. So we had Alba Frey coming right behind her, and Cecilia Pompinella, 2 very strong paddlers. Alba still a little bit of a black dark horse, but we had her name, we saw her name. Anna Chirky there in the mix as well. So I can't wait for those all together when we see, hopefully next time, Duna against Cecilia and Alba and Anna. That's going to be very interesting. And then mad busy, or right over into the Sunday with the APP Alicante Open, even though it wasn't in Alicante, and with that sprint race, or at least they called it a sprint race. Well, we're going to get into that later. And Connor coming back, race season 2023, opening up a bang, didn't lose a heat. meticulous buoy turns. His start was amazing with his kangaroo bunny hop there, really utilizing his long legs for faster beach starts. So he's always the first at the buoy, winning, coming back super strong. But who was behind him? Noik and Shrimpy, and those are the two guys to watch out this year. I am very much convinced. Connor sticking with short distance sprint and possibly tech races. But Noik and Shrimpy are on his heels. On the ladies' side, Fiona Wilde, super stoked for her. After so many months of shoulder injury recovery, she's back. And her 6th place at the Euro Tour there in the long distance, I'm sure she was a little disappointed with that. We've definitely expected her bang return in that, but she made up for it with a bang at the APP Tour. She booked every heat so strong. So good for her, very well done. And there's lots of new names coming behind her. For example, we have not seen much of Fiona racing against Melanie Lafenêtre, but Melanie is a very strong French peddler, and she came very close, jeopardizing Fiona's win there. Almost for a moment, but not enough. She had to, same thing, very new to the race scene from last year, and she came in 3rd. So 2 new names there, very strong. So overall, whole package on this race weekend, great to see. But sadly, we had 2 important races in 2 different locations, too far from each other for everybody to participate. So we're going to have to fix that. For me, as a media, it was definitely nice to see, and the APP is definitely the king on putting out results, content, videos, live feeds and everything. They are the pros in production and content, no questions asked. You get the most out of there. The Carolina Cup was definitely a little hard to find for me, and then we had that result change last minute, so that was kind of unfortunate. Eurotour is doing also a great job with their results and everything, so thank you guys for being good content creators, because I live off of that content, watching here from far. So it was overall a really great weekend. Of course, there is always a little bit of a discrepancy. We have both wake discrepancies. We talked about that before, so you can go to my website and find that. The one thing we're definitely going to need to talk about is how that APP Tour race was a sprint race when it looked like a tech race. So I got definitely a little bit confused there, but that one we're going to talk about, guess what, in the next video.